Hey there. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for doing it, man. We really appreciate it. I honestly was a little surprised you were up to it with, being off injured, and I didn't know that, I wasn't sure you'd want to talk about motocross right now.
Well, yeah, it's a frustrating deal, but the good thing is it's something I can come back to relatively quick. So, these last injuries have been tough. Like my thumb was a tough deal, and my Achilles was obviously a really tough one to come back from. But this one, if all goes to normal, I should be released around 6 weeks. And then, of course, I'll just try to figure out and feel on how my conditioning is. But, it's a time frame that you can kind of look forward to and not be like, man, I'm out like for a long time. So, good thing it's just the bone, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a very different mentality than when the Achilles went last, 2 years ago, and so you can see the light at the end of the tunnel a lot sooner, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's it was crushing when it happened, but at least this one, there's some sort of light at the end of the tunnel. Hopefully, I catch the last couple Supercross. That's my goal, is to catch those. It's just it was such a bummer because I was feeling so good on the motorcycle, for those few rounds there.
What's the reason to come back before Supercross is over instead of just getting ready for outdoors? Is it just gate drops, or because you just want to be back?
It's a combination of all that, and I feel like when I get gate drops in, it just sharpens my game. No matter what, you can only practice so much at home, and I feel like racing is good for me. Doing say overseas races before the season, I think that really brought me in quite sharp and keeps things refreshing. So I'm not afraid of, I guess, racing, one discipline, Supercross before moto.
And I would assume, I think you kind of hinted at this in the past, when you're out with the Achilles, you're out with an injury, you really got the drive back. Like you realize, man, I missed this. I don't want to give it up.
Yeah. And that's the way it was. It's just so unfortunate the way I was having so much fun on my motorcycle, because things were coming somewhat easy. I mean, I was starting a little bit behind here and there, but overall, the motorcycle was in a great spot, and it's just tough. It's just tough.
The riding you were doing in 2025 was a little bit mind blowing. Your second race at Glendale, though, race 2, Eli's a madman. Like there is no doubt you were maybe the best you've ever been this year.
Yep. And it honestly, my actual riding, you're right. It has been the best I've ever been outside of my start. So it's been good, but unfortunately I don't even know why this stuff happens, but it happened. Sticking the leg out and it just ends like that. Just, would love to rewind the tape and keep my foot on the peg. What a bummer for that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks.
Gosh, dang Supercross. Yep.
When you had those couple races where beast mode was kind of back, did you feel that you were ever going to get back to that? And what was it like when you had those races? Like
it feels like you can do whatever you want. Your body stays good the whole 20 minutes. And I knew I was going to be that fast from racing those overseas races, and WSX. I knew things were coming pretty easy. So it was just an exciting time. And I haven't really had that feeling on the motorcycle since 2022 for being that good and that easy and having that speed and, being able to maintain that pace for the 20 minutes. So it was, I guess it was fun while it lasted, but hopefully I can get somewhat back there by the end of this Supercross. We'll see.
After the rebuild year last year, was there a little bit of a lack of confidence of wondering if you could still do it?
Yeah. And what I've said this a bunch, but what also happens is I was, pretty off balance, and it took me a while to come back from the Achilles. Of course, I did make some motorcycle changes, like my fork system and stuff, coming into this season, which improved the bike a lot. But it just, coming off of an Achilles injury, you don't get that last 10% until basically you're down the road of having full confidence in yourself. Your body gets balanced out, and you can only ask your body of so much. And I struggled, last year, just straight up. I struggled, and I was was not the place I was this year.
I wonder what that looks like when you're at home, you're sitting around with the wife, and are you saying, man, maybe I'm not ever going to get back there, you know? And does it take away from you wanting to go train, or does it change anything at home?
Oh yeah. There's those times. Yep. And then here's the other problem is the media. It's like everyone beats it into your head that if you're over 30, that, you know, everyone just asks you when you're going to retire. Yeah. So then that actually starts creeping into your head. But I'm trying to keep the father time at bay as long as I can right now. Well, a lot of our top riders are doing that and still very successful. So I think we need to stop talking about the age thing in this sport. I think so. And it's just, you know, I think if you want to do it, you're motivated to do it, that, you know, Supercross is technical enough and skillful enough that, you know, we can obviously hang with the dudes that are in their mid-20s. What do you think you'll do after you retire? Do you think you'll stick around? Will you disappear for a little while? Have you even thought about it? Well, right now I just I have a pack of kids, and they occupy my time, you know, pretty much anytime I'm not at the track or training. So just raising the kids. We have 3 now, but for my day job, I don't know what that's going to be. I mean, we're so busy. I mean, we have cows, we have horses, we have pigs, so kind of just running around, you know, our farm. And but for inside the Supercross and motocross industry, I'm not sure what my future holds. But I do love racing, so it's you just don't know, I guess, until you actually get to that day. When you're training coming into these last couple of seasons, you spend most of the time, you do most of your training at home, but you do a little bit at the farm with the boys. Has it gotten more enjoyable to go ride with the other guys and where you can pick up on some of those things? And I know you kind of have your own program, but has it shifted more the other direction where you like riding with those guys and being there? For me, everything's about balance. So, you know, preseason, you know, waking up the pace, you know, burning that candle. It's good. It's good to be there. But there's times where I feel like, you know, riding by yourself is important for managing a season. So there's pluses and minuses, and there's more ways to, there's more than one way to do it. Yeah, so sure. Of course, I had fun. You know, riding with all the guys is great. You learn the race condition. Like, the biggest benefit of riding in the group, in the pack, is you're getting race condition and learning your motorcycle going into that race season. I can't tell you how many times that I basically have blown Anaheim 1 because I made a setting on a smooth test track and wasn't in a rough, you know, group practice environment racetrack. And that's where it's so beneficial, especially preseason, is being, you know, in that group. And here's the deal: when you're in that environment, you don't want to get beat. So sure. Yeah. It's you know, every day I was down there, it was just bringing the A game. Obviously, nationals are very important. You'd love to get another title. That's big. But Motocross of Nations at Ironman has to be a number one, top 3 priority. Oh yeah. And I would love to try to, you know, bring another number 1 plate back and as a team. And I've had so much fun the last few goes at Motocross the Nation. So it'll be a great event in Ironman. It's cool that we're going to you know, a different track here in the US, and it's try to be one of those spots here in that spot, you know. Here's the big one. As of now, maybe you don't want to say, are we back for 2026 Supercross? I don't know that yet. Okay. So that's where I have to leave it. Yep, that's fair. And too early.